Hello friends, Sally the Seeker here. Bear with me here. We are in our final weeks of school, and I was like, I am going to have a month that I don't catch something from the young lads and lassies I work with in kindergarten. But lo and behold, I think I've caught a head cold. Oh, I'm a poet. However, I don't think it is going to affect my voice too much. It's more of a head cold, so I might sound nasally, and I will try my best to refrain from sniffing or sneezing, but it might happen, just letting you know. But I've been wanting to get back on here, and so for this one, I'm going to share with you, which probably most of you have seen, but you know what? I had not seen it all the way through, but this is the state, and they have one of the Dancing Grannies as a witness. And as most of you all probably remember, out of the 6 that lost their lives, 4 of them were part of the Dancing Grannies. 3 of them were the actual Dancing Grannies, and 1 of them was the spouse of one of the Dancing Grannies. And it's, man, I mean, of course, hearing the witness talk about Jackson Sparks, how hard is it to hear about a child? But, you know, I know with me, my parents, when they passed away, they were relatively older, but you know, it doesn't change how much you miss them or the impact of the loss. And I think this is heartbreaking, because clearly these were women who were very active and, you know, loved doing their dance routine and were excited to be in this Christmas parade, which should have been a wonderful time. And it's just like, it's just, you know, it just ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So let's just proceed, and we'll go from there.
Next witness.
And Your Honor, before the state calls the next witness, I just wanted to let the record reflect that I did put Exhibit 54 on the witness stand. And it will be introduced through the next witness, who is Laura Thein.
All right, thank you.
Does that give it a relook?
Good morning, Ms. Thein.
Brooks?
If you would please make your way to my witness stand, which is all the way up by me. It is up 1 riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Laura, L-A-U-R-A, Thein, T-H-E-I-N.
Thank you. And sorry I put an M on that previously. All right, go ahead, your witness.
Good morning, Mrs. Thein. How are you today?
Very good.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to direct your attention to November 21st, 2021. Were you at the City of Waukesha Christmas Parade on that date?
Yes.
Were you there as a spectator?
No, I was in the parade. I was in one of the units.
Okay. And which group were you with?
The Milwaukee Dancing Grannies.
How long were you with the Milwaukee Dancing Grannies?
How long?
Yes.
8 years.
Okay. And how would you describe, first of all, how many people at that time were in the Dancing Grannies approximately?
There were 9 of us in the parade.
Can you describe, were you guys friends, close? Did you see each other often?
We were like sisters. We were a sisterhood.
Oh.
Did you meet regularly for practices?
Every week.
Okay. Without fail, pretty much?
And we had some social outings, and then we've seen each other again every weekend for a parade.
So would it be fair to say that the 9 people that were at the parade on November 21st, you knew pretty well?
Very well.
Is it normal for the Dancing Grannies to be part of parades?
Oh, yes. We do lots of parades. We do about 21 of them in summer and about 5 to 6 in winter.
You talked about practices. Did you have certain numbers that you did for example, for the Christmas parade this past year in November?
Yes, we do Christmas routines and for the holidays, and then we do different type of routines for summer.
In November, would you have a pretty standard formation that you would keep to do each of your routines during the parade?
Yes.
Did you have uniforms?
Yes, we did.
Can you describe them for the jury?
Objection, really.
Overruled. You may answer.
Oh, shut up.
Grounds for it.
They were long skirts with white fur. They were blue with white fur on the bottom. Blue jackets with white fur for cuffs and around the neck, and a white fur hat.
Did you have, I'm assuming if you were dancing to music, that you had something that played the music?
Yes, we have a music vehicle.
Where would that music vehicle be in relationship to the group who was performing?
Right behind the group.
Oh, hold on. There's been an objection. It's noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand. Just in the future, if there is an objection, wait until I've ruled on it and then answer if I say overruled. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Overruled.
Oh, shut up.
Relevance.
Grounds for the relevancy.
Oh, God.
Keep going.
Thank you. So did you also have people walking with the performers in the parade to give support?
Yes, we have volunteers. We have 2 volunteers that carry the banner and a volunteer that will give us ice chips in case we get.
Do you recall who were the 2 volunteers who were carrying the banner that day?
Yes, there was our usual banner carrier, a young girl, Allie, and then at the last minute, the gal didn't show up because we have 2 for the banner. She didn't show up, so Ginny, at the last minute, decided to be the other banner carrier.
Now, when you say Ginny, are you referring to Virginia Sorensen?
Yes.
And you knew her as Ginny?
Yes.
Okay, and you said there's also another support person who carried ice chips.
Yes.
Do you know who that was last year?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled. You may answer.
Grounds for the overrule.
I should have.
You can answer.
Okay. Yes,
Grounds for the
Bill,
overrule.
one of our Dancing Grannies' husbands.
Is that Wilhelm Hospital? Is that his full name?
Yes.
Thank you. Now I have before you a document that's marked States Exhibit 54.
Okay.
Do you see that in front of you?
Yes, that's pretty much our group.
Oh.
I was going to pause a moment because it's clear that Brooks is in rare form with his objection and his grounds, and it's just like, oh my gosh, dude, just shut the hell up. But he's not going to stop. But I know that, like, when I play it, I watch some of the live streams, and it's interesting to see what people say, and they're like, oh my God, on the cross-examination, you know, he's gonna, you know, take advantage of it, which he probably will. But, you know, one must never underestimate the strength of a dancing granny. Not just dancing granny, I mean older people in general. These people who are older, I mean, I'm older, but they may be a little bit older than me, have been through a lot. They've seen a lot. They've experienced a lot. So don't underestimate their strength, I'm just saying. Because look at her. She's up there looking all pretty and adorable and being so pleasant and so far holding it together for as far as I can see. And I don't know. I don't think Brooks is going to fluster her very much, if at all, because I'm just saying, don't underestimate older people. And it really pisses me off how much he is objecting and just being an ass, and you know, it's just disrespectful. Of course, he's disrespectful to everyone, but it's like, you know, in other countries, older people are very well respected and revered, and you know, he doesn't care about older people, younger people, any people, nobody. But anyhow, that was just my 2 cents.
Okay, so it consists of 9 different, it looks, why don't you describe for the jury exactly what's in front of you?
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
Oh, shut up.
Answer.
Okay, we have 9 people that were in the parade.
We're talking Brooks.
And when there are an uneven number, there is somebody who is in the slot.
Okay.
And it was my turn to be in the slot.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So on the top of the sheet, and I have a copy in front of me, so if we're going from the top down, we have the names, it says Banner, and then on the left-hand side, as I'm looking at that, it's Ginny Sorensen and Allie, is that correct?
yes.
And I'm going to actually ask that this be published also for the jury and admitted into evidence.
Objection. We have yet to see what's being talked about, being shown.
Oh, God, he's such an ass.
Does Mr. Brooks have a copy?
I believe it's up in front of him now.
All right, give him a minute to look at it.
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, nor do I agree to being called that name.
All right, the record should reflect that the Exhibit 54 is being displayed on the monitors at the present time to the parties, to the court, and to the witness. There's been an offer or a request by the state that the court receive the exhibit based upon the testimony of this witness. Exhibit 54 is received permission to publish as granted.
Objection.
Noted, overruled.
On what grounds?
Mr. Brooks, I'm not going to be specifically addressing, so please respect that.
I respectfully request a legal reconsideration of your ruling.
Mr. Brooks,
God,
now
he's
is not the
reading
time
it.
for that. The objection has been overruled. I expect that you will honor that, and we will continue without interruption. Go ahead.
I do honor it, Your Honor. For the record, I respectfully reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling.
Keep going.
Thank you. So in the upper left-hand corner, the name Ginny Sorensen. In the middle, it says Banner, and then Allie. Ginny was Virginia Sorensen. She was carrying the banner with Allie, correct?
Yes.
And they would be in the front as the group is going down the parade route?
Yes.
And the 9 people who are listed in the boxes following or behind the banner, does that accurately reflect the lineup that you had on November 21st of last year?
Yes.
Overruled. Her answer may stand.
God.
Your Honor, I'm now going to show the witness exhibit 53, just the witness only.
Go ahead.
And let me know when you see it up on your screen.
It's on.
Okay. I'm going to show you a couple seconds of it. I'm just going to ask you if this accurately depicts your group on November 21st of last year. So I'm going to play a couple seconds. It's starting at 00, and let's play it for 5 seconds.
This is my group coming up.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh, guys.
And does that accurately reflect how your group on November 21st of last year? Okay.
Sorry, you were shaking your head. Yes. Is that a yes?
Yes, that's how it was.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should have.
Oh, she's
said that out
adorable.
loud.
Bless her heart.
It's okay.
It's okay.
A little
But
bit strong,
make
don't get
sure
me
the
wrong.
record's clear.
Okay.
I would ask the court to admit this exhibit 53 into evidence and publish it for the jury.
Objection.
Overruled. Exhibit 53 is received permission to publish as granted.
Grounds for the overrule.
Ma'am, I'm going to play it straight through, and then we'll go back and go through it and pause the occasion for you to identify.
She ain't playing today.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
The statement continue.
All right, is that a legal determination that you don't have to give me the grounds for the overrule as I objected on the
Mr.
record?
Brooks, stop interrupting. I've made my ruling. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
Thank you.
As for a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of
Yeah,
law.
we're going to listen to this. Shut up. Shut
Or
your
is
pie
that a
hole.
tactic agreement, Your Honor?
Your Honor, just for the record, this is 1 minute and 27 seconds now.
Oh, look at their outfits. Yep, nobody's paying attention to you right now. Oh. I have the grannies come to you every night in your dreams. Every single night, I hope.
Bam, that was the routine at the beginning of the...
Okay, did you see his disgusting, smirky, how he did his eyebrows? He can just sit there. How can he, with his nasty lady fingers and dirty, long fingernails, oversized suit, mask, once again, wrong side out, sit there and just be able to watch that and then, like, make disgusting, disrespectful facial expressions? Oh my God, I never wanted to get a baseball bat and pound somebody over the head as much as I have him. That sounds horrible. No, it doesn't sound horrible because we're all feeling it, aren't we? It's just like, he is a soulless demon. That's all he is.
Parade, it looks like.
Yes.
Is that correct? And will you be able to identify each of the people if I go through the exhibit and kind of pause it occasionally for you to tell us who they are and a little bit about them? Thank you.
Overrule.
Did you see
The
that?
grounds for the overrule.
It's not hearsay, one thing.
Not hearsay.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
Get
I've
him,
asked
Granny.
that we begin playing it without sound at 00. If we can pause it. Again, can you circle Virginia Sorensen on the screen? The screen in front of you is touch.
Okay. This is Ginny.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ginny?
Ginny was our glue.
Oh.
She held the group together. She was in the group the longest. And I think she was in the group for close to 20 years. Wow. So she was in there for a long time. She was close to everybody. Like I say, we were like sisters. And she, if you had a problem, she would always ask you about it, talk to you about it. Ginny was always there.
Oh my gosh.
If we can continue on, it stopped, I'm sorry, at 1 second. If we can continue on from 1 second. If we can pause it.
Okay, and now that's Lee and Sharon.
Okay, so who is on, as we're looking at this video, who's on the right side?
The right side would be Sharon. Lee is on the left. She was right behind Ginny.
And I'm just going to direct you to Exhibit 54.
I'm
Just
sorry.
in front of you.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood. When you say the left side of the street was where Lee Owen was, or the left side of the picture as you're looking at your screen?
witness?
Lee was on the left,
Oh,
right
gosh.
behind Ginny.
See, the lady, she
It's
can't
okay.
hear.
It's been an objection. It's overruled, but I would caution the state about leaving the witness.
Okay.
Go ahead. You may answer.
Okay, so
Okay.
right behind Ginny was Lee Owen.
Yes.
Is her full name Leanna Owen?
Lee was
Overruled.
very close to Ginny. They worked together a lot for the group, and she taught a lot for the new people that were coming in. She was more or less the leader to teach them the routines. And I rode with Ginny not Ginny, but Lee. I rode with her to every practice. We rode together, so we were quite close too.
And next to Lee, you stated according to Exhibit 54, that would be Sharon Millard.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to focus on the people that were injured during the parade, okay? So next, if we can continue on, we stopped
Before you move on, can you tell me where that was paused?
in 11 seconds.
Thank you.
If you continue on from 11 seconds. And pause. The state has paused at 21 seconds.
Okay.
There's a woman who seems to be between, in back of Lee and Sharon. Do you recognize that person?
That would be Betty.
And do you know Betty's last name?
Betty String.
Okay. And did you know her very well?
She was fairly new. She was only in the group for a couple years. And so, but we knew each other quite well.
Would she go out on the events with you and you do social events?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I think I said it, I stopped at 21 seconds. If we can continue on. We can pause it. The state has paused at 28 seconds. Behind Betty, there are two women who are in the forefront of the video that stopped. The person that would be dancing on the left-hand side of the street as you're walking down the street, do you know who that is?
That would be Kathy Schmeling. This was her first parade.
Can you circle her where she's standing on the screen?
Okay, if I go the way she's going, on the right side or left?
Circle who you think is Kathy Schmeling.
Okay. Kathy would be on the right. She would be right there.
Okay. And you said the other person was who?
Lola
Okay. Can you circle Lola?
Hospital. She is the wife of Bill that was hit.
Okay.
Noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand. Next question.
Grounds?
And you stated that Wilhelm or Bill was a support person that was marching the parade that day.
Yes.
What did you know about Lola?
Lola was the mother figure. She was, I think, the oldest in the Grannies. And she was rather on the quiet side, but she was just friendly with everyone.
Was she in the Grannies when you joined 8 years?
Oh, yes, she was in quite a long time, similar to Ginny.
So continuing on from 28 seconds, I'd ask that we continue playing it. If we can pause. The state paused at 34 seconds. Can you identify the person who is behind Lola and Kathy in the video?
Yeah, she would be in the middle. That is...
Hold on. There's been an objection. It's
Oh,
overruled.
Lord.
Grounds?
She may answer.
Grounds?
That's Tamara.
Oh, no.
Rosentier. It's hard to pronounce her name, but Rosentier.
Rosentreater? Would that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you circle her on the screen?
Okay, that's her right there.
Okay. And what can you tell us about Ms. Rosentreater?
She was, I would say, about 5 years into the group, 4 to 5 years. And fun person, very friendly. All of us are very friendly.
Okay. You seem like you might be. Okay, if we can clear the screen and continue from 34 seconds. And if we can pause the screen here.
Okay.
Okay, the next two people are behind Ms. Rosentreater.
Tamara, yeah.
And can you identify those people?
Yes. This is Tamara Duran.
So you had two Tamaras on your team?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And 2 Kathys, too.
Okay.
And this is Kathy.
Is that Zartek?
Zartek, or something like that.
Hold on, there has been an objection.
Okay.
I'll sustain the objection, leading grounds. Her answer may stand, but I would again caution the state to...
And I would just note for the record, Exhibit 54 is in front of this witness, and it does have the first and last names, and she's already said that it accurately reflects the people who were marching with the Dancing Grannies on November 21st of last year.
That was not the question. It was leading.
Understood. For purposes of identification, though, I'm going to instruct her to turn the Exhibit 54 over to make sure that her testimony today is from her recollection and not from reading from a form. So if you could turn that over, please. The paper document that you have. There you go.
That lady is just precious.
Go ahead.
And look at her. She's...
Now you circled, can you circle Tamara Durand again, Tamara?
Okay, this is Tamara Duran.
Okay.
This would be Kathy Z.
Okay. Direct your attention to Miss Durand. Can you tell us a little bit about her?
I'm sorry.
Directing your attention to Miss Durand, can you tell us a little bit about her?
She was new, and this, again, was her first parade. She was so excited about being a granny because she had worked for months and months to learn all the routines. And when she knew she would be in that Christmas parade, she was so excited. She just couldn't wait. So she was looking forward to doing all the parades. That was the first and last parade she ever did.
Oh my gosh. This is hard, guys. I know I'm supposed to make humor of it, but you know, sometimes we have this little bit of, don't worry, it'll be humor. But, you know, sometimes we have to look at this stuff. But this lady is such a bright light. Laura, I think her name is. And how strong she is up there. She looks like she's a little bit of a thing. She could probably still take Brooks with her hand pinned behind her back. Because let's face it, all that practicing and stuff, they're probably quite fit. She could probably take Brooks down. But the way that she has such a great little story about each person. And these were her friends. And she's standing up there smiling and, you know, knowing that it was so painful for her. And he's such an ass. As I say, she's class. Miss Laura here is trash. No. Sorry, she is not trash. Miss Laura is class. Brooks is definitely trash. But she truly is a bright light. Wow. Such compassion. But, oh, she's got some spunk in there. I see it. I see it.
We can clear the screen and continue on with the video from 42 seconds. Pause it. Okay. Last but not least, hopefully you get this one. Okay, that's you?
That's me.
Okay, if you can circle you on the diagram, I think there's only one person in it. And you said you've been with the Dancing Grannies for 8 years, correct?
Yes.
Okay, if we can clear this, and I stopped it at 1 minute and 9 seconds. If we can continue forward. I'm going to pause.
That's the music vehicle.
Who drove that vehicle on that day?
Pardon?
Who drove the vehicle on that day?
My husband.
Okay.
Oh.
And you see a figure entering into the screenshot. Do you know who that is?
This would be Bill.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you. And that's Bill Wilhelm.
Pardon?
Do you know the last name?
Shut up, Brooks.
Hospital.
Okay.
That would be Bill Hospital.
And do you recall him wearing a hat that day, as shown in the picture?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds.
Grounds
Relevance.
Yeah,
You may
thank you.
answer.
Okay, Bill was just walking up behind Tamara Duran and gonna be offering
Miss Thein,
her some
I'm not
ice.
sure you heard the question. If
Oh,
the state
bless
could
her
re-ask it.
Certainly. In looking at the picture, was Mr. Hospital wearing a hat that day?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh.
And during pretty much the entire route of the parade, was he usually in back of you or in front of your position?
He's on the side of us.
Okay. And usually on the side that he's on right now?
Sometimes he would be on the other. It just depended how many people we had to give ice on any particular parade.
Okay. And was it cold that day? Do you remember?
Yes, it was pretty cold.
Okay. I did stop the video at 1 minute and 20 seconds, and I am done with this exhibit. At some point during the parade, did you hear, strike that, were you always with the formation?
Look at him. He's like, ooh, I'm going to get her on some. Look at him. God, I think even the bailiff, with his surprisingly and admirable expressionless face, wants to clock Brooks too. Look at him. He's like, ooh, she's going to do something wrong. Ooh.
Were you always the last dancer in the formation?
No.
On November 21st, 2021, were you the last dancer in the formation throughout that parade route?
For this parade, I was.
Okay.
We took, if there's an even number, nobody is in the slot. But if there's an odd number, there was no partner, so we just would take turns. Each different person at each different parade would be in the slot.
Okay. So at some point, did you hear something unusual behind you during the parade?
No, because the music vehicle was right behind me.
Did you at any time turn around and see something unusual?
Yeah, as we were going and I was dancing, when I would turn I seen a streak of red coming on my right side.
How fast was that streak of red going?
It was going pretty fast.
Hold on. The objection's noted. It's overruled. Her answer may stand.
Grounds for the overrule.
Relevance.
So your answer stands, which you said it was going pretty fast?
Yes, it just like whizzed past me. It wasn't just going slow.
As it was going past you, who was in the area prior to it going past you and I'm assuming you lifted your right arm, was that on your right side as you were marching down Main Street?
Yes.
Okay. Who was in that area prior to that red streak coming through?
Kitty corner for me, that would be Bill and Tamara Duran.
Did you get the opportunity to see what that red streak was?
Yeah, and shortly, in a few seconds later, the red vehicle was right in front of me, going down the center of, to me, just pointing to the center of the parade route.
So right in front of you.
Yes.
How close did that red streak come to you?
I would say a few feet. he had to go around the car, the music vehicle, and then the right on the right side, and that's when Bill and Tamara were hit.
So when you were in front, in the back of the parade lineup, how far were you directly in front of the music car?
Several feet.
And the red vehicle that you've identified, it went to the right of the
It came
music car?
from the right side, yes.
And you stated it hit Bill and Tamara, correct?
They were the first ones, because they were just kitty corner from me, several feet.
Poor woman.
Then where did it go?
I didn't see them get hit, because it all happened so quick that I was still dancing. And all of a sudden, I seen the red car in front of me, and I screamed either in my head or out loud, I don't know which, but I said, what is he doing? Where's he going? And I just screamed it because it was so unusual, and I knew if he was going down the center of the parade route, he was going to be hurting a lot of people. And he wasn't going slow. He was going at a good clip.
From the time that you saw the red vehicle on your right, striking Bill and Tamara, did you see it slow down at all?
Did I what?
See the vehicle slow down?
No, it just hit them. And as he was coming in, he started then going toward the middle, where he hit two more people, and then veered to the left and killed two more.
You said it was a red vehicle. Did you get a general description of the vehicle? What type of car? Was it a...
You notice he just, he just keeps on writing with his little stubby pencil that he loves to tap. He's so unfazed. It's so crazy. And yet he gets a teeny tiny scratch or cut or whatever, and whines about his rights and his, what about these guys' rights? Oh my gosh. How awful for these people, like the bailiff, everybody have to be with him, had to have been with him every damn day to hear him go on and on and on. And now, God bless whoever has to hear him now. Excuse me.
Car, a sedan, a pickup truck?
No, it was like a SUV or something. It wasn't just a car. It was a van or, something on that order, SUV.
So as the vehicle went through, did it stop after it struck? I think you said it struck the people in the front. Who were the people that you just testified to that died?
Objection, leave the witness.
Overruled.
Grounds.
He came from the right. Hit two. Oops.
Sorry.
Oh, bless her heart. Don't worry, lady. Nice lady.
Go
the
ahead,
idiot,
you may
or
answer.
Laura.
It came from the right.
The idiot's talking.
Hit two people, and then veered toward the middle. That's when I really seen him. And then hit two more people, veered to the left, and hit two more.
And the last two people that were struck, do you know who those people were?
Yes, I believe they were Ginny and Lee.
And you testified that both of those people died as a result of being struck?
They were killed instantly.
Oh my gosh.
And because the car came from the back, oops.
That's okay. There's not a question.
Oh, I
Wait till
love
the question
her.
is asked.
Okay.
She is awesome.
After the car struck Ginny, and she would have been in the front of the parade still carrying the banner, is that correct?
Yes. She was on the far left, right in front of Ginny.
After that occurred, did you see the vehicle stop?
No.
Vehicle kept going?
Yes.
Did you see the path of travel it took after it struck Ginny?
Well, after it struck Ginny, it was sort of on the left side of the street, and it just kept barreling through.
I'm going to bring up Exhibit 54 again.
Go ahead.
And I'd ask that be published to the jury. It's previously been admitted as evidence.
Go ahead.
Objection. What's the relevancy of the video?
Exhibit 54, the court's already admitted it. It is shown to the jury. Go ahead.
Ma'am, can you, when the car went through, can you approximate where Bill was on this chart? You can put an X where you think he was.
Bill was about here.
I thought the sheet wasn't being shown.
Um,
You specifically made a ruling for the sheet to be turned over.
His name isn't even on there, so shut up, Brooks.
that was during her testimony. She's now being asked to annotate the exhibit. So it's proper. Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you. Can you show the jury, using this chart, and maybe you just using a line, the path that the red vehicle took?
It struck there, hit Tamara, Betty, Lee, and then Jimmy.
Look at that path of destruction.
We can take a screenshot of that, and it would be State's Exhibit 54A, I believe. And you stayed after it struck your group, it continued going in the left-hand
Yes.
side? Do you know what group was in front of you?
What was in?
I'm sorry, do you know what parade group was in front of the Dancing Grannies? And if you don't remember, that's okay.
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
That's fine.
For the record, the court did capture the annotation and marked it as 54A.
After the vehicle went by, what did you do?
After when I noticed that vehicle in front of me, and then it went toward the left and continued going down, it all happened in a matter of seconds. And after the car kept going, I looked on the road, and all I seen were bodies. I thought I was in a war because there were just so many, and I just went into shock, and I just grabbed my jacket like this and went to each body to see who it was and if I could help.
You said that you grabbed your jacket. You held both sides of your jacket up to your neck area. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes, I think I needed.
Hold on. The objection's noted. It's overruled. Her answer and the description provided for the record by Attorney Basie, I would note, was accurate. You may continue.
Grounds for the overrule.
Already noted. Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Oh, God, he's such an idiot. But look at that. How? I mean, I know she looks a little distraught in that picture, but I mean, sharing that story and watching Brooks mowing over all of those people, these people that she'd been friends with. Sisterhood, she said. And she's so composed. It's just, I think it's remarkable how composed she's staying. Just remarkable. Oh my gosh. This is awful, guys.
So you said that you were in shock.
I just went into shock, seeing the bodies. I needed to hold on to something, I think. So I just grabbed this and just went from body to body. And then the people were running into the road with blankets. And anybody that was in the medical group quick came and were helping the people that were laying in the road to see if they could help.
The people that you saw laying in the road, were all of those people from your group?
Yes.
Overruled, not hearsay. Just a reminder, once again, let me rule on the objection before you answer. It's okay.
Bless her heart, but
I'm sorry.
I don't think she can hear all of the time.
Can you walk us through who you went up to and what you observed after you said you started going to each of the bodies to check and see if you could help?
Like I say, the people from the sidewalk, they just ran into the road to help.
Spectators?
Spectators from the sidewalk, yes. they were wonderful to try to help, bringing blankets to cover the people to keep them warm. Then there was someone from the, I think it was the tavern, the bar right there, and someone came out and had us, kind of corralled us, me, Sharon, and Kathy, into the tavern to give us some warm coffee or something to drink. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there, and I had to know what was going on and how badly anybody was hurt.
So when you came out, who did you go up to?
Then I went back. I was on the road again, and just looking who was being helped and who was not quite being helped yet, and how badly they were hurt. I could not even find Tamara and Lee.
Okay. And when you say Tamara Durand or Tamara Rosentreater?
Durand.
Okay. So you couldn't find Tamara or Lee Owen?
Sorry. Did you hear her ask, was that Lee Owen?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the two of them. I couldn't find them. The rest of the people were accounted for.
Sorry, guys. I'm going to
but I
adjust this
didn't
again.
know where they were, so when they were hit, they went flying on the sidewalk.
Good gosh.
So
and that's why I didn't
This woman
see
is
them on the road.
amazing.
you saved
Composure.
yourself, Kathy Zadarstuk, Kathy Schmaling. The three of you went into the bar initially. Is that correct?
When they came out, they told us, you know, come on in here and get warm and have something warm to drink. And
Were you injured as a result from, did you get struck by the red vehicle?
no,
Did you see injuries, or do you know if Kathy Schmaling or Kathy Zadarstuk got hit by the red vehicle?
I don't believe so, because Sharon, Kathy, and I were, Kathy Z, were kind of walking in the road trying to see if everyone was being helped.
How about, you said Sharon was also looking to see if people were being helped. Did
Yes.
you observe any injuries on Sharon?
No. We were the three more or less that, and the fourth one was Kathy Schmeling, and she immediately went on the sidewalk, and I think it was a sister or someone was on the sidewalk watching the parade. She quick ran up to Kathy and took Kathy right home.
Kathy's sister, Kathy Schmaling's sister, took Kathy Schmaling home?
Yes, because she was crying, standing there on the sidewalk, and she was kind of uncontrollable.
Okay. So let's go, who were the first people that you saw as you walked out to check on people?
Sharon, I seen her.
I'm sorry, the injured people.
Oh.
Who did you see of the injured people? Approximately where were they and what did you observe?
Okay, I went straight ahead, and it was mainly Tamara.
Rosentreater?
Yes. And then it was Betty String.
Were they both on the ground?
Yes, they were laying in the road.
Did you see, were they
And-
able to move?
Pardon?
Were they able to move?
Not much, because the people were telling them to lay still, because I believe Betty had 2 skull fractures, and they didn't want her to move her head or anything. But yet she was awake, and she could talk. So
How about Tamara Rosentreater?
now she had several broken bones, ribs, arm and wrist, leg. So she had a lot of broken bones, but she too could talk and communicate.
How about Lola Haspel?
Lola immediately ran to her husband. He was laying kind of on the sidewalk.
Horrible, guys.
Because when he
Horrible.
was hit, he just went toward the sidewalk. And now he was hurt. He wasn't killed instantly. And she had a blanket for him and she stayed with him until the ambulance came and took him to the hospital.
Did Bill recover from the injuries sustained by that vehicle?
No, he didn't. He died during surgery.
Did you note any injuries or find out of any injuries to Lola Hospital?
No.
And Lee, or when you said you could not find, did you find Lee at all that evening?
Yes. Later, the police had me identify her. They had her picture on their phone, and because I asked where Lee was, and they showed me this Lee, and it was her. She was thrown on the sidewalk.
Oh my gosh.
That's why I didn't see her in the road.
Oh.
Do you know what side of the sidewalk she was, or what side of the road she was thrown on?
She was on the left.
As you're marching down Main Street, she was on the left side?
Yes, she was right behind Ginny.
And the picture that they showed you of Lee, was she alive when they took that picture?
No, she was killed instantly.
Oh.
And Ginny, did you see Ginny that night?
Ginny was killed instantly also. She was right there on the road.
Again, on the left-hand side?
Yes.
Mm.
And did you go by Bill Hospital?
I want to punch him.
Bill was on the right side. He kind of was thrown on the sidewalk.
Did you go by him at all, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I talked to him.
Shut up, Brooks.
There's been an objection.
Oh, I didn't hear him.
It's overruled, and her answer that she gave me.
I didn't even state the objection, but
God, what is he taking
Ma'am,
notes
I'm going to
for?
show you what's been previously marked and admitted into evidence, which is Exhibit 15. It's going to show up on your screen, okay? Let me know when you see it in front of you. And I'd
Okay.
ask that it be published to the jury as well. It's previously been admitted into evidence.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Ma'am, can you, is this look to be Main Street, the parade route from November 21st of 2021?
objection. Read the witness.
Sustained as to the form of the question. Please rephrase.
Do you know what Exhibit 15 is?
She doesn't
No,
know.
I don't know what this really is.
I wouldn't know
Do you
either.
see, does it appear to be a map or something else?
Objection.
Pardon?
Read the witness.
Overruled. She may answer that.
Does it appear to be a map or something else?
Yes, where there's a lot of names and kind of a map.
Okay. Do you see a purple line on that map?
Yeah, with all the purple stars on.
Or I don't know if they're purple stars, but I see some yellow stars, some orange stars.
Yes.
Objection.
Yes.
Leading the witness.
This has previously been marked and admitted into evidence. I think I can direct her attention to these items.
Agreed.
I think
Your
the
objection is noted. It's overruled. This exhibit has previously been received.
I think the stars are the color are pretty obvious what they are.
Who gives
There's
a
various
shit?
colored stars, and
It's
again,
only
the
two
exhibit's
color
been
stars.
received. The jury
Who
can
cares?
determine for
Shut
itself
up.
later on what colors they are and the meaning of them. But go ahead, you may ask
I know my finger probably. Wait a minute. I want to get his eye roll.
your next one.
Oh, look. He's like, oh, he's getting ready to rock back and forth. I remember him rocking back and forth like that when, when Opera was, she might have been making one of her closing statements, and he was rocking back and forth. Oh, yeah. Where's your Bible? Because, I don't even think Jesus is very happy with you right now. You know, he just has to have everything his way. He didn't. Okay, here we go.
Question of this witness.
And you see the street that, the long street that's depicted on Exhibit 15. Do you see a name on that street?
Okay,
Do you see it?
yes.
And what is it?
Oh, she may not have heard.
I see all the stars. I don't know
Oh.
what the question.
See,
Do
my
you
eyes are
see a
bad.
name on the street on the map?
Okay, let me see.
For example,
Main Street, Broadway.
So is Main Street the street that you were on when you were marching and your group got hit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Now, if you go to look to the bottom left, there is a box that's labeled Dancing Grannies. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it has 7 names in that box. Are those all part of the Dancing Grannies?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Grounds.
She
I
may
may
answer.
answer.
Go ahead.
With the exception of Bill, he was Lola's husband.
Yes. I'm sure he would appreciate that distinction that he was not one of the dancers.
Right.
All those people were associated with the Dancing Grannies.
Yes.
And the people in red are the ones that you testified are deceased as a result of being struck that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the other 3 that are in green are those people who were injured as a result of being struck that day?
Okay, 1, 2. Yes, Lola wasn't really injured. She just was with Bill when he was injured to keep him calm.
Okay. And you see that there's a black line that directs it to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. This exhibit has previously been received. It's fair for the state to direct the witness's attention to a particular part.
Making one of her closing statements, and he was rocking back and forth. Oh yeah, where's your Bible? Because I don't even think Jesus is very happy with you right now. You know, he just has to have everything his way. He didn't. Okay, here we go.
Question of this witness.
And you see the street that, the long street that's depicted on Exhibit 15. Do you see a name on that street?
Okay.
Do you see it?
Yes.
And what is it?
Oh, she may not have heard.
I see all the stars. I don't know
Oh.
what the question.
Do you
my eyes
see
are bad.
a name on the street on the map?
Okay, let me see.
For example,
Main Street, Broadway.
So is Main Street the street that you were on when you were marching and your group got hit?
I believe it was.
Okay. Now, if you go to look to the bottom left, there is a box that's labeled Dancing Grannies. Do you see that?
Yes.
And it has 7 names in that box. Are those all part of the Dancing Grannies?
Objection, leading the witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
Grounds.
She
I
may
may
answer.
answer.
Go ahead.
With the exception of Bill, he was Lola's husband.
Yes. I'm sure he would appreciate that distinction that he was not one of the dancers.
Right.
All those people were associated with the Dancing Grannies.
Yes.
And the people in red are the ones that you testified are deceased as a result of being struck that day. Is that correct?
Yes.
And the other 3 that are in green are those people who were injured as a result of being struck that day?
Okay, 1, 2. Yes, Lola wasn't really injured. She just was with Bill when he was injured to keep him calm.
Okay. And you see that there's a black line that directs it to a yellow star. Do you see that?
Objection, leading the witness.
Yes.
Overruled. This exhibit has previously been received. It's fair for the state to direct the witness's attention to a particular part. Her answer may stand.
Does that appear to be the location where your group was struck?
Okay, yes.
It does?
It looks like it would be, yes.
Thank you. We can take that to show Exhibit 55. Go ahead.
I'm assuming just for this.
Yes, just to the witness. If we can play it for approximately, first of all, do you see it in front of your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Starting at 00, we're going to play it for approximately 10 seconds.
God, what
and
stupid
then I'll ask you some
questions is he
about it,
writing
okay?
down?
Does that accurately depict what occurred to your group on November 21st, 2021?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to ask that it be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection.
Overruled.
Grounds.
It's relevant. Permission to publish is granted. Exhibit 55 is received.
And Your Honor, this clip is 15 seconds long. I would ask that the full clip be played at this time. Go ahead.
Oh, look at this. I think still it's...
Ma'am, the group that you saw on the right-hand side of the screen, was that the Dancing Grannies?
Yes, it was.
And did you see headlights coming through your group?
No, because it came from the back.
I'm sorry, in the video, did you see headlights coming through?
Yes.
Objection, legal.
Yes.
Shut up, Brooks.
You may answer.
And you answered?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And was that the path of travel you recalled seeing the red vehicle take as it went by you on the right and went through your group?
Yes.
I want to show it one more time for the jury so that they can now focus on the headlights on the vehicle.
Objection. Relevancy.
Your objection's noted. It's overruled. Permission to publish once again
Grounds.
is granted.
And Your Honor, the state is going to play it at 50%.
Grounds.
Shut up.
Objection. Grounds.
Noted. Overruled.
Grounds.
Shut up.
Relevance.
If you can start, please.
I request legal reconsideration.
Look
of
at
your
her
ruling.
looking at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Grounds of the denial. For the record, may I request a legal or factual
Shut up.
basis
This
for
poor
your
woman
ruling?
lost almost everybody in that group. No respect.
Is that a legal determination, Your Honor? Are you making the judicial
Look at her.
determination?
You may continue to the
Ma'am,
basic.
did you see the body come forward and fly in front of the truck?
No, me being in
I'm
back.
sorry, in the video, did you see the
Oh.
body
Objection.
flying in front of the
Shut
truck?
up, Brooks.
It's not
No.
legal.
In the video that you just saw, you didn't see a body?
Oh, yeah, on the video, but not.
Right. And do you know who that was?
Yes.
Who was that?
When they had it on TV, that was
No,
the man, right?
I'm sorry. Who
Oh,
was the
that
body
man.
that would
Was she
fly
getting ready
in
to
the
point out
street
Brooks?
that came towards the front of the
I love it.
screen?
Hold on one second. That last answer, I'm going to, because it was non-responsive, but I'm going to strike it, instruct the jury to disregard it, and then if you could state your question again.
Certainly. If we can go to Exhibit 55 again, to approximately the 10-second mark.
You withdrawing that last question then?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you.
The question.
It's been withdrawn.
May be struck from the record.
It's been withdrawn.
May be struck from the record.
There does not need to be struck. So the request is denied. It's been withdrawn.
May I ask for a legal and factual
Remarks
basis
of
for
the
your ruling?
attorneys and questions of the attorneys are not evidence. It's the answers that are evidence, so that's why it's not being struck. You may continue, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. Do you see a body probably in the middle of the screen on the left-hand side? On the ground?
Yes.
Do you know who that is?
Well, it's hard to tell who it's, but that would probably be Ginny.
Thank you. I'm now going to show you just you. It'll be in front of you on the screen, Exhibit 152. 152 is 14 seconds in length. I'm going to show it to the witness, the entire 14 seconds, to see if she recognizes this.
Oh, that's
Do
it.
you recognize what's depicted in that video as what occurred and what you saw on November 21st of last year?
Yes, but when the car hit them, it was, it was on my side, and I didn't see them flying
Okay.
or anything. I
Okay.
just
but you saw the car come through, and you previously testified that you saw the car strike them. You didn't see where they went. Is that fair?
Objection, leaving the witness.
Oh, shut up.
Overruled. That answer may stand.
I'm going to ask that this be admitted into evidence and published to the jury.
Objection. Where's the relevancy?
The
Grounds for
objection's
relevancy.
noted, it's overruled, and Exhibit 152 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Grounds for your ruling, Your Honor.
Relevant.
I'm going to play it at full speed initially, and then I'm going to play it at 50%. So I will ask you questions after I play it full speed, okay?
Mm-hmm.
If we can play the whole 15 seconds. With some.
You know what? Oh my gosh. He just, ooh. Guys, you know, it's like all this time he's been giving his stupid objections and asking the grounds. And this poor woman, Laura, is watching her friend's bodies fly into the air as a result of him driving through. And he's just so disgusted and dismissive of anything but what he wants or needs. He's worse than any of the kids I've ever dealt with. Look at him. He's sickening. I feel like that man over behind his basic duty box is not a fan. I don't know, he might be a family member or, you know, a friend, one of the victims. Oh my gosh, I want to just wipe that smug off his face. Unfreaking believable. Look at how he can just watch it. Do you think he's getting like excited by it? Oh, bless her heart. Tell you what, though, her composure is, I mean, obviously she's, you know, upset, but her composure is freaking amazing, guys.
That vehicle strike, that exhibit 152.
Objection. Leading the witness. Saw
Shut
the
up.
video.
Tomorrow,
Hold
Darrell.
on, there's been an objection, everyone.
Oh, God.
The objection is noted, it's overruled. Now you may answer the
Grounds
question.
for the overrule, Your Honor.
God, you shut up and let this poor woman speak.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
Go ahead, you may answer.
Tomorrow, Darrell.
Thank you. I'm now going to play it at 50% speed for the jury. And that was the car that you saw travel in front of you?
Yes.
Objection, leading the witness.
Oh, for heaven's sake, shut up.
Overruled.
Grounds for the overrule, Your Honor.
It's overruled. Next
Grounds.
question.
Ma'am, I'm now going to, if I did not already do it, I'd ask that Exhibit 152 be admitted into evidence. I would then direct the witness's attention to Exhibit 153, which will show just in front of your screen, okay?
Grounds.
Exhibit 152 was received already. No need to address the request for grounds by Mr. Brooke due to that. And then the exhibit is up in front of the court, the witness, and the parties, but not published.
Objection, I do not consent to or agree to being called that name, Your Honor, for the record.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. This clip
Would that be
is,
noted for the record, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
thank you.
May that be noted for the
Mr.
record, Your
Brooks,
Honor?
stop interrupting.
I just want to make sure.
Mr. Brooks, stop.
I just want to make sure it's on the record.
Shut up.
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
Thank you. This clip is 38 seconds in length, Your Honor. Again, I'm going to show you the first 5 seconds of this clip and ask if it accurately reflects your observations from November 21st of last year.
Poor woman having to watch this stuff over and over again. And then here, baby Brooks. Oh. Go
And is
on.
that your group in the Waukesha Christmas Parade last November?
Yes.
Okay. I'd ask that Exhibit 153 be admitted into evidence and be published for the jury.
Objection. Relevancy.
Oh, wow. I love that. Did you see her eye roll?
Exhibit 153 is received and...
Look at that. Don't underestimate. I loved it. Wow. Guess what, Brooks? She can roll her eyes, too. See, I haven't seen all of this, so maybe you'll have seen this, but I haven't. So some of this is, parts of it are my first reaction, but look at that. Man, she's like, look at how nicely she's dressed, too. Her beautiful bright blue blouse and her hair and her face all did up nice, as we say, we did it up, or get her toes did, whatever. But anyhow, and just looking at it, I'm like, who the fuck is this idiot who mowed over all of my friends? I think she is amazing.
may be published to the jury. The objection is noted and overruled.
Ma'am, I'm going to have it played at full speed, and then I'll ask you some questions, and then play it at half speed.
Oh, gosh.
Okay?
This poor lady. Oh, God. The sound is on. Oh, my God. You hear that? Oh, my gosh. She is tough, guys. Gotta tell you. Are you happy with yourself?
Ma'am, what did you see in Exhibit 153 that was just played before you?
I seen Bill being hit and thrown towards the sidewalk.
Oh, my God.
That's Bill Hostel?
Yes.
And I'm going to show it now to you and the jury. Just a clip of it, starting at 0 seconds.
Poor
At
Laura.
50% speed,
Oh,
what I'm going to be asking you about is where you are in this clip. Okay? So if you can start it. See, we may have a future granny in front of us here with the green hair.
Sure looks like it.
Objection. Relevancy.
Oh, you know what? Just shut up, Brooks.
Your objections noted, sustained. The jury will strike that last question and answer. And the jury will disregard that last answer.
Now, if you look at the street, pause. Sorry, keep going. If we can pause it now at 21 seconds. I would just ask, did you see after Bill Hospital was struck, did you see some feet coming through the screen on the bottom at the very end of that clip?
Objection. Relevancy.
I seen him in the legs, yeah.
Okay. And then did you see your feet marked? That would have been the approximate area that he was hit. Did you see your feet in the video at the end?
She probably wasn't looking for her feet.
Not really.
Ma'am, I'm going to give Mr. Brooks an opportunity to ask you questions as well. Please answer those for him. Go ahead, your cross.
Oh, boy.
During your testimony, you kept referring to he. Who were you referring to when you said he?
I can't understand him.
Can you please state your question a little bit louder?
Maybe you should take your mask off. Well, no, we don't want to see you.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
Yes,
You
you
need
should.
to be closer to the microphone or projector
I
voice, okay?
got it.
Yeah, okay.
During your testimony, you kept referring to a he. Like a lot of times you would say he. Who were you referring to by the he? Who did you mean by the he?
He,
Yes.
when it was showing Bill,
No, not
Bill
the,
would be the he.
Yeah, shut up.
Before today, have you seen any of those videos before today?
No.
Can you tell? He thought he had her.
You stated that you saw a red vehicle strike the Grannies. Do you remember if that was, or let me back up. Do you remember what type of vehicle you saw?
It was like an SUV. It wasn't just a car. It was, you know, the flat back. I'm bad for cars. And all I know is I seen the red streak, and then all of a sudden I seen the car in front of me.
So would you describe it as a car?
It was a vehicle.
Come to you if you recall.
I would say several feet. I was in front of the music vehicle, and it came around the music vehicle on the right side, and that's where Bill and Tamara were. And I was a little bit this way because I was directly behind the music vehicle.
Were you able to see into the vehicle in any way?
Was I able to what?
To see inside of the vehicle?
No, because it came behind me.
So you didn't get a look at the driver at all?
No, I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
Yeah. All right. Now what?
Do you recall what happened when people were struck by the vehicle?
Some died?
No, I couldn't see them being struck from where I was. The vehicle was big, and it was after the vehicle went through our group that I seen all the people that were struck.
Earlier you testified to people being thrown to the side of the street. Would it be fair to say that, and I'm going off your last answer to the last question, would it be fair to say that you didn't see that with your own eyes?
No, that's where they were found.
But you didn't see it with your own eyes?
No, I couldn't.
Didn't you hear the lady? She doesn't have eyes in the back of her head. I mean, it's really a dumb question because clearly it was from him. But, you know, he's going to try to make it seem, you know, Darrell. It's just a Darrell thing.
Sorry about that.
You also stated that a few of the people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
That died instantly, you mean?
Yeah, you stated that a few people that were struck died instantly. Would that be fair to say?
Some of them, yeah.
And
2 were injured, and
how would you know for sure that they died instantly if you didn't see them struck?
because the police found 2 of them on the sidewalk, one on the left, one on the right. They were already dead.
So were you told by the police that they were dead?
That what?
Were you told by the police that they had passed away?
I could see they were working on them and weren't getting anywhere.
Oh, but he's going to say, oh my God, what is he trying to get at? You know what? They died. And, God, he just doesn't know how to, you know, he should learn to have kept his attorneys and learn from the prosecutors how to question witnesses. It's just so stupid. But he's going to say, but you were you right there? Did you see it on you? Or probably, are you a doctor? And I don't know, but I'm just saying, I can just imagine. I mean, he's very predictable, let's face it. And his questions are so stupid.
They were trying to get the heart started with the heart machines. Nothing was working.
And you know that for sure?
I seen them working on them, yes.
Yes.
Not all of them, but on some of them.
So was it fair to say at that time that you had no medical diagnosis at that point in time?
Nobody gives nobody diagnosis. They just were working on them and trying to get them revived, but they couldn't do it.
So it would be fair to say at that time you had no knowledge of the injuries sustained?
No.
So stupid.
You stated that, I believe it was a Kathy. Did you know a Kathy that was part of your group?
Yes, 2 Cathys.
You stated, I don't remember which one, but you stated that one of the Cathys had a sister or something?
Yes, on the sidewalk watching the parade.
Do you recall the sister's name?
No,
Are you sure it was a sister or maybe just a relative?
could have been a sister or a relative. I figured it was a sister.
So it would be fair to say you didn't know for sure who it was.
That's the answer.
It was someone in the family.
You may answer. Go ahead, you may answer.
Okay, it was someone in her family that was trying to console her, but she was just standing there out of control, weeping and...
You stated that there was a music van or of some sort?
a music vehicle.
And you also stated that you couldn't hear what was going on behind you because the music van. Would that be fair to say?
That's right, I didn't hear anything. I just seen a red streak when it came past me.
So would it be fair to say that if a vehicle was honking a horn, you wouldn't have heard it if it was behind you?
I don't know. No, there was no horns.
But you don't know for sure because you stated that the music was playing pretty loudly. Would that be fair to say?
That's for sure. But whether I would hear a horn or not, I don't know.
Were you able to see a license plates number of the vehicle?
No. I was just shocked that a vehicle would be in the parade route. I didn't have time to read a license plate.
Tell him, Granny.
And you stated that there's also a member of your group named Lola?
Named what?
Lola?
Lola. Yes, it was her husband, Bill.
And she, to your knowledge, to your recollection, Lola was not injured?
No.
But you ran over her husband and killed him.
You spoke with knowledge of a lot of the injuries. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Have you yourself ever had any medical training of any kind?
No, my family is all in the medical field.
Have you yourself ever
No.
been in the medical field?
No.
Did you see anyone behind you struck?
No, because I was behind the music vehicle. in front of the music vehicle.
And you yourself weren't injured, right?
No. The car couldn't get at me because they would have to go through the car.
You stated that you went inside of a building at some point, or
Yes.
one of the businesses,
Yes.
and you stated that you couldn't stay in there because you wanted to see how bad everything was outside. Would that be fair to say?
Well, I was outside first, walking and seeing everybody, then watching them work on them, and the tavern was trying to comfort us by inviting us in for coffee or water, something to get us. But I couldn't stay in there. I had to be out there with them people.
Do you recall about how long you stayed in the tavern, I think you said it was, before you went back out?
I would say between 5 minutes and 10.
So when were you informed by, I guess I would say, medical personnel of the injuries to your group?
When I seen them working on them, they had the heart machine on Ginny, and blood was pouring out of her mouth, and I knew she was gone. There was no doubt about it.
At any time during the incident, did medical personnel come to you and
No.
tell you injuries?
No, just the police came to me to know that where Lee was, because I was wondering where she was, and the police showed me her photo and said that she was gone.
At one point in your earlier testimony, you pointed to the defendant table and said, "That's him from the news." Any reason why you would say that?
From the news. I didn't say that.
You testified that you pointed to the defendant's table and said, "That's him from the news," and you were cut off right in mid-sentence.
I wasn't saying that at all.
So have you ever seen any news coverage of the incident?
From Lola, I knew that Bill had died during surgery that evening. And so I knew that from her, because she was at the hospital with him. I knew about...
Ma'am, did you hear the question about seeing news reports? And just be a little more specific on the time,
I don't
okay?
know what you mean
I'll try.
about news reports.
Fair enough.
On the
Rephrase.
regular news, or...
He'll rephrase.
Okay.
At any time, do you recall seeing any news reports related to the incident? At any time?
It was on the news. Yes.
So it would be fair to say that you watched reports of the incident.
When it was on the regular news in the evening,
Was it?
they didn't cover much of it. They just showed that the Dancing Grannies, that.
Would it be fair to say you learned additional information that you didn't have when you were at the incident from the news?
Not from the news, I didn't know.
Okay.
I knew from the family.
Nice try, Brooks.
So would it be fair to say that before you received information from the families, you weren't sure of the exact injuries to the grannies in your group?
Some of them I knew right away because of the police.
Did you know just from observation, or were you told?
I was pretty much told.
And from the videos that you saw here today, which you already stated it was your first time seeing any of those videos.
Yes.
Did you see anything in those videos today that you didn't see at the time of the incident?
Yeah, the people being hit and flying.
Yeah.
Once the car was in front of me, that's when it left the bodies behind.
But you didn't actually see.
I couldn't. The car was in my way.
And do you recall who else was not injured from your group besides Lola?
The four of us were not injured.
Do you recall the names of who was not injured?
Kathy Z, Sharon Millard, me and Lola and Kathy. The other Kathy. There's two Kathys.
Both Kathys, to your knowledge, were not injured?
No, they weren't. We were all that was left standing.
Do you recall about what time you left the parade after the incident?
What do you mean after the incident?
Do you recall what time you left the parade?
That was when everybody was taken away, and I think then we were in the bar having a cup of coffee, and then I had to find a way home because the music vehicle had to stay there because it was a crime scene. So Kathy Z's family took her home, so they gave me a ride right away too.
And you don't recall about what time that was?
No.
That would be fair with everything that was going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to think Brooks is using that question, what time did you get there? What time did you leave? As a filler. Because whereas time is important, usually the time when they leave, nobody gives a flying fuck what time it was. Rarely anybody is paying attention to time unless maybe you're a police officer and you need to record it. But yeah, that's a filler. And yeah, there was a lot going on. Didn't you see something like that? I don't know what he said, something to that effect. Yeah, him running over her friends. All right, let's see what else he's got up his sleeve.
At any time in the days following the incident, did you see any reports of a suspect at any time?
I seen it on the news that a suspect was taken, or found, you should say.
And what What are you referencing when you say found?
What was I what? Oh, found. In other words, the police found him. I didn't know who, where, or who he was at the time.
I don't recall if this question was asked, so I'm going to ask it. Were you there with any of your family members, immediate family or anything?
My immediate family members, just my husband. And he was driving the music vehicle.
Was he injured in any way?
No. Outside of being shot by what he was seeing.
Physically injury. Did he
No,
suffer any
because he
physical?
was in the car.
Do you recall giving any police statement, or were you interviewed by any law enforcement
Yes.
after the incident?
Yes.
Do you recall if it was the same night of the incident or in the days following?
Both.
Both?
Right there at the time, and then the next day.
Did you ever file any claims related to the incident?
Oh, God, here we go.
I believe not of the incident, no, because I was there when they were talking to the gals that weren't hurt. They were like interviewing us.
The four of you, correct? The four that went, the two,
Yeah,
the
all
two
of us.
cats.
Yeah, the ones that were left. Yeah.
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident?
If what?
Do you know if they filed any claims related to the incident?
Objections,
Grounds?
cause for speculation.
Grounds?
The way that he asked it is overruled. So you may answer if you know.
Okay, no, because we were all together and came to every interview that they needed from us.
Do you recall seeing or reading any complaints related to the incident? Grounds?
Sustained as to the form of the question. You don't have to answer that.
Okay.
Should I rephrase the question? Or?
It was sustained as to the form of the question.
At any time during any interviews with law enforcement, were you shown a complaint related to the incident?
Objection, vague.
Grounds?
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Were you informed that it may be a possibility that you might be called to testify in this matter?
A lot later, not at the time. I had no idea of testimony until.
Would you say much later, as you say, would that refer to weeks, months?
Months. I was in no shape at the time to testify or talk about anything.
Do you recall seeking to testify? Wanting to testify?
No, I didn't ask to. This just happened when we would be in our interviews with, and then.
So it would be fair to say that you were asked or
Yes.
subpoenaed.
Yes.
Do you recall by whom?
I imagine the DAs or...
Don't get started. Brooks, not her.
When you say the DAs, do you mean the district attorney's office?
Yes.
Did they ever identify to you as being the plaintiff in this matter? Grounds.
God.
Sustained. Next question.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
You know what?
Relevance grounds.
Zach wishes he could just punch him out.
Do you recall ever being told that there was a plaintiff in this matter?
No, it's just, I was interviewed a few times, the 5 of us, and that was pretty much the end of it until months ago where
I think probably a little explanation is needed.
Would that be testifying?
Are you aware what
God.
a plaintiff is?
Objection relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Yeah, you can't tell her
Grounds for
that.
the sustain, Your Honor.
Next question, Mr. Brooks.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Ask your next question, please.
I am. I just want to know the grounds, just
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
record. The grounds for the sustain.
Ask your next question.
Your Honor,
Mm-mm.
the grounds should be put on the record.
Ask your next question. I'll address this all at the next break outside the presence of the jury. Ask your next question.
Your Honor, with all respect, I think the jury
Mr. Brooks, under
deserves.
906.11, ask your next question, or I will determine that the cross-examination is now closed.
I'm
Keep
gonna
going.
ask, I'm gonna keep going. I just think
Well,
the jury
you better keep
deserves
going.
to hear
Mr.
all
Brooks,
the
I'm
testimony.
instructing you to stop making those statements. The jury will disregard. This is the cross-examination. It's not your opportunity to make legal arguments
They don't need to know.
or to testify. You'll have an opportunity if you so choose to do that later.
With all respect,
Next
that is not
question.
question-fine. The jury just deserves to know.
All right, under 906.11, the cross-examination
I
will
still have a
determine.
question, Your Honor.
Sir, you didn't
Too bad.
follow my very clear instructions.
Good for you.
Does the state have any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
Objection to that, Your Honor.
Your objection's noted. Ma'am, you
I
may
was
step
not.
down, and
All right,
after she
Laura,
steps down,
she
I
can
will
go.
be excusing the jury for a few moments. Please rise for the witness and for the jury as they leave the courtroom.
That was swift and beautiful. I wish the judge would do like that the whole. I wish she would have done that the whole entire trial. She just was not. She was not having it, and I wish that's how it was. I wasn't done. I love it. Look at his face. Look at him. Mask wrong side out. Looking like a gosh darn fool. Oversized suit. Can't see his dirty fingernails. Yeah, I have not seen this part, so this will probably be an interesting interaction.
You may have a seat, everyone. To specifically address the repeated request by Mr. Brooks for the court to state the grounds, sir, I am not legally required to do that. Those are legal determinations that if you feel there is an error later on, you can address on appeal if you are convicted. I have been answering many of them at your request, but I may not do that at all times. In fact, you're asking me to provide that explanation and really highlight for the jury the court's opinion on relevance. That's why we don't state that. There's an objection, it's a party makes it, states the grounds. Sometimes I ask the opposing party for their position. Sometimes I do not. Many times it's very self-evident. Either the objections are baseless. Many of the hearsay objections are baseless. Your objection to hearsay is it's not hearsay. So that's why, to me, they're self-evident. I say sustained, and we go forward. So you need to be aware, sir, that when you ask for the grounds, you're asking me to state a legal conclusion in front of the jury, which I don't feel is necessary for the reasons that I've already stated, that you're asking me to highlight my opinion on relevance and my determination on relevance. So going forward, you need to be aware of that. Again, not a sign of disrespect. It's the record is self-evident. Many, many times, if I feel that more argument is needed, I'll excuse the jury. But I haven't felt the need to do that up until this point. And I will caution you once again, sir, 906.11 is the statute, mode and order of interrogation and presentation, controlled by the judge. The judge shall exercise reasonable control over the mode and order of interrogating witnesses and presenting evidence so as to do all of the following. A, make the interrogation and presentation effective for the ascertainment of the truth. B, avoid needless consumption of time. C, protect witnesses from harassment or undue embarrassment. And it goes on, but for purposes of what I'm going through, that's the most relevant portion of 906.11. So when I give you the warning that under 906.11, I will cut off your cross-examination, it's because you're violating 906.11. So
is that a judicial determination that I violated 906.11 when
I'm advising you, sir, it's not a specific determination as to anything that's happened thus far, just a summary of why I am relying upon 906.11 throughout the questioning of witnesses and the presentation of evidence.
Your Honor,
so with that, we're going to continue. I'm going to have the state be ready with their next witness.
Your Honor, I'm not interrupting you. I'm letting you make a clear record.
Mr. Brooks, you have actually interrupted me.
I just let you go through the whole citing of
really didn't understand
906.11 without saying anything.
I'm not asking for the parties to make an argument under 906.11.
So
I'm advising you. Stop interrupting me, please. I'm advising you, sir,
oh, he doesn't
so that you have hopefully more knowledge and awareness as it relates to the statute that I've cited dozens of times during this trial.
I'm well aware of what I'm citing, Your Honor.
Well, hell no, you're not.
All right, so,
and I'm just seeking for the record to be clear.
Sure.
With all due respect, Your Honor, that's judicial misconduct because you're not allowing the jury who deserves to hear certain aspects of testimony. Like I stated yesterday, under the Sixth Amendment, I have the right to face my accuser, which means that I can question about clearly the plaintiff being the accuser. How come I can't question about if a witness may know or have had any prior interactions or any conversations or anything of the sort with the plaintiff who has yet to show their face? Also, the reason why I was objecting the way I was is because I was trying to get to the question of the witness saying that about the 4 ladies in her group that were not injured. There's relevancy because with her stating on the record, clearly for the record, and for Your Honor, and for the court, and for the jury, that these ladies were not injured in any way, but yet there's still charges associated with these ladies who were not injured. That should be dismissed.
we are not at that point, sir. The charges I read refer you to the preliminary jury instructions for first-degree recklessly endangering safety and the elements, or the elements they don't need to prove. There are certain elements, And so I'm not going to have a debate with you over the law at this point. I've made my rulings as it relates to certain questions that you have asked and whether they're relevant, whether they're vague, whether they call for speculation, or a whole host of reasons that a question can be objected to. I'm not further going to address your position on
May I request a legal reconsideration of your ruling, Your Honor?
You interrupted me. I'm not done with what I was trying to say.
There was no way for me to know that because you paused. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Just because I paused doesn't mean I'm done.
But you paused for quite a while, so I wasn't sure.
In any event, sir, we're going to keep going. Any error you believe I've made, you can raise again on appeal if you are convicted, but we will proceed forward. Does the state have the next witness available? Please do not interrupt. I'm asking a state question.
That's why I was just
Mr. Brooks, you're interrupting. Stop. Does the state have available their next witness?
We do, but could we please request a comfort break, Your Honor? I'm sorry, but we haven't gone about 2 hours now.
All right, that's
as long
fine.
as
We'll
they're
take
out.
a 15-minute break. That's fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the record, Your Honor,
oh Lord,
we haven't addressed subject matter, jurisdiction.
We are off the record, Mr.
Okay, that was very interesting, and I just thought, while I close this video session of the life and times and craziness of Brooks. Brooks is just easier than to say Darrell. I might call him, well, I call him multiple names, but I just thought we would look at the photo of these victims that lost their lives to him, and the SUV. I'm just moving this around because it's gonna, the screen will go blank and then it's weird, but let me just try. So it was interesting because through this granny, Laura, I did anyhow, I don't know if you all did, we learned a lot more about the other grannies, dancing grannies, and the husband of one of the grannies, Bill Hospital. And I just thought Laura was such a beautiful soul. She truly was. I mean, she was, you know, I loved hearing her talk. And I was a little surprised because I don't think Brooks was as hard on her as he could have been. Because I know, I mean, I don't know if you all noticed, but I do think I did hear her say something about, you know, I know him from the news, and referred to Darrell. But I honestly don't think she remembered saying it. Maybe I misunderstood, but I think I did hear her say that. But I thought he was just going to keep hitting her and punching it, and, you know, how he runs things into the ground. But he didn't. And there was another thing I think that she was kind of confused about. And I thought he would really push it, but he didn't. And now I know I'm sitting there going for a second, wait a minute. Was he thinking about his mother or grandmother? But I don't think that's, no, that's not likely. Because look, he ran over 4 of her friends. But it was interesting how she described, who was it, Virginia, whom they called Jenny, as the one, I guess he'd been there the longest, and everybody could come to her for advice, and Leanna Owen, but I guess they called her Lee, was like the mom of the group, and of the 2 sons that we often see there, you know, during the case. And Tamara, you know, she was only 52. I don't consider her a granny. I mean, not that you could be a granny at that age, but I mean, you know, Tamara looks pretty young and good. And then, of course, Bill, the wife of her friend. It's just so tragic. I mean, I can't imagine. Like I said, I think that Laura got up there and was so well composed. Not that she didn't have months and probably still has many difficult times, but I thought she just presented herself well and was just a delight to be around. And it kind of made you feel like that's how all the dancing grannies were. And I don't know, it was just, and then Bill, he was just carrying ice chips for the ladies. And then her describing his wife going with the blanket and being with him. Her describing the people, you know, seeing bodies lying everywhere. It's just like, that's just, I don't even know. God, I almost used Brooks's word, mind-boggling. And this was maybe a little bit more deep and we want to laugh, but then I guess it's like I can't not remember these people and why we're here. And of course later, you know, like I said, we heard about, well, I shared a little bit about Jackson, the president speaking, who I think also coached, and the coach who was injured, and, you know, Brooks really gave them a hard time. And look at that precious little guy. And then later, I'm going to share the videos who were the witnesses of who were in the same group with James Kulik, and, you know, how that dreadful thing happened. And, but, you know, we can't forget them. You know, I've lost my mom, my dad, my sister, certainly not like this. My sister way sooner than I imagined. And so of my immediate family, or as psychiatrists or psychologists would say, your family of origin, I'm the only one left. And, you know, dying is dying, and it's sad, but I mean, it would be more horrific if it was that way. I can't even imagine. But it's still hard enough. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, as the years pass, I don't want people to forget about them. And I'm sure that their families don't want people to forget about them. And that's why I try to, and sometimes I forget, but I try to remember to post their picture. And not only that, though, the ones, look at all the people, look at, there were other grannies. What was there? 4 other grannies? I forget. There was a couple others that were injured as well. I mean, you know, it's kind of like you think about a tornado. You know, tornadoes will come and there'll be a house that is standing up, nothing wrong, and the house next to it just totally demolished. He was kind of like a tornado that came in, but a hideous, soulless, evil thing that just devastated this poor little community. And I can't even imagine how hard it is for everyone still, you know, but we will continue. I'll try to make the next one really funny, making fun of Brooks. I'll try to come up with something, but thank you all for watching. Thank you all for commenting when you do. And even if you don't do any of those things and you just watch, like it, subscribe, that's fine too. I appreciate you all for whatever you do. Doesn't matter. So, in closing, I will say, be kind to one another. Be kind to you. I love you all, and see you the next time. Bye.